Oh, welcome back. Oh, how does it go? Hola.
How does it go?
Muchachos and muchachas. ¿Cómo está? So, our video today is going to be on, we'll call it the process, the paperwork, the things you need to do to get there beforehand. So this is in your prepping stages of travel. So we started this mission 15 months ago. And what was the first? So step one, we had to go get passports. We just learned that everywhere we live, they're 3 months out to even set an appointment to go see them, let alone get your passport. So you're looking at 5 to 6 months, probably.
For what, the passport?
Yeah. It's 3 months to get an appointment.
Well, I mean, you can make the appointment and then you can do some other stuff, but yeah, probably.
So you're 5 months out starting today if you wanted to go get just your passport. This process is not going to get simpler as time goes on and the world gets more crazy. And there are going to be, I can just tell you from conversations I've had, it seems like everywhere I go now, I mentioned I'm going to Paraguay. Everybody's curious, well, where is that? Where's Paraguay? And why are you going? That's why the first two videos were what they were. And surprisingly, a lot of people are taking notes, including, one of the tellers at the bank today, interested in what we were doing. And I don't know if that's like the 15th person probably that has done that. Seems like almost every day I run into somebody who's thinking of it. So I don't know if everybody will end up in Paraguay, but they'll end up somewhere. So anyway, when we started the process, what did we do? What was the first step? We got passports.
Got our passport. I already had mine. I just had to get it renewed.
Yeah, she had it easy. Then I went down and got mine at the post office. Then we started submitting birth certificates.
I think what we did first was, because we didn't know, I think we did our fingerprints first.
Okay. So with Paraguay, so every country is a little different. With Paraguay, they require an FBI report pulled on you. They're also going to do Interpol on you when you get there. And it has to be perfect, spotless. Nothing, not even a DWI. There can't be anything on your FBI, as I just learned this morning. I had something on my FBI thing, but I'm thinking, but I wasn't convicted. The idiots just didn't do the paperwork and pull it off 33 years ago. Doesn't matter. Now I have to go through court processes, pay more money. Fortunately, why I hired Plan B was to handle something like this, and they say that they can do it. But just know that, at least in Paraguay's case, most of South America ain't going to care. It just so happens to be Paraguay where I picked it, and the idiots 33 years ago not doing the paperwork right. So you need an FBI. Can you pull one up?
Yeah.
And it has to be apostilled. So what is an apostille? It's kind of like a notary for international governments to work with. It's very specific.
So this is what the apostille looks like. And then this is your FBI document. So what?
Nothing. So.
And the FBI thing, the fingerprint has to be current. So within 6 months. So that's why I would probably do this about 6 months before you're ready to go. These FBI fingerprints took a long time. So you have to go down and get fingerprinted.
You go to the police station. We went to the police station and got fingerprinted. And you need 2 copies, not one.
And then you mail those into a certain place. You can look it up online. You can also have a service do this for you, but it's very expensive, or you can mail them in yourself. So the first time we did them, we mailed them in ourselves, and then when you get them back, then you have to send them in to be apostilled. And that takes a minimum of 5 weeks just for the apostille. Did I say that right?
Apostille.
Apostille. Okay.
I've heard everybody pronounce it different on YouTube, so we're no different.
So it takes 5 weeks to get the apostille back. The fingerprints are gonna they can take upwards of 3 months, and since they have to be like 6 months current, I mean, it's just it makes my brain hurt.
So process 1 is fingerprints. You have to have an appointment. They only do it in Bonnie Lake 2 days a week, I think it is, for a certain 3-4 hour window. So you've got to take time off of work likely to go in and do it. It's a weekday. Get your fingerprints, send in for your FBI report. I would highly recommend allowing 2 months or more, especially with what's going on now with the government and stuff. It's not going to get faster. And then immediately the day you get it, send it in for the apostille. As I understand it, Paraguay will use the date on the FBI sheet, the day it was issued, not the apostille date.
Right.
Which means you have 6 months from the day that they create it, not the day that you have it when they send it to you. Plus, sending it back out for apostille. So that's we had to do this 3 times. Or is this the 4th time?
This is the third.
Third time. And we almost, literally didn't get them in time.
Yeah, I just got mine back yesterday.
So
crazy.
Yeah, we were sweating that one. The next hardest thing would be on the wife's side, would be with name changes. You're going to need to get your passport, whatever name is on that passport, spelled exactly the same way with the same middle name, same everything, needs to translate through every document, through the whole process of showing who you are in a marriage. So you need your marriage certificate with your old name, new name, divorce paperwork, new marriage, new divorce, all the way through. No matter how much you have, all of the names have to show continuity of passing all the way through the whole thing. One typo and you're done.
And they all have to be apostilled, so you can't send them all to the same place, because if you got married in Las Vegas, so then you have to send your marriage certificate to Las Vegas, and so you have to figure out what office to send that to be apostilled. So that was a process. That took a while, just a little bit of research. It's not really all that expensive. I think on documents we probably spent
I'm gonna go
over 5.
I was gonna say $1,000.
Yeah.
Just because we expedited everything.
Yeah.
We overnight shipped everything in and out.
So
Because we were racing to go, and then we'd find another hurdle, and we'd have to do it all over again with the FBI again, and we're in and out, and then something would hold us up, and we did it again.
yeah.
Because you're on a clock, right? If you don't get it back, and keep in mind when you get that FBI report back, that's your go day. From that day, you can book your flights. You can't book before that because you don't know when the heck you're going to get the thing.
Right.
So now you know that day you have to book within a certain amount of time, get your time off of work, schedule the babysitters, do whatever it is you're going to do to get yourself out the door. You have, I would safely assume you only have 3 months between the time you get it and the time you need to be in Paraguay or wherever you're going to submit
Yeah, that's
this.
about right. Because
So
those are current ones. Our fingerprints were read January 2nd. So we're not going till March. So that's about right.
yeah, so allow time for this, guys. And if you're even thinking about it, know that if you aren't starting now, you are already late. So again, apostilled on the marriage stuff all the way through, and double check, triple check. A typo could kill you. It's kill the whole trip. You get to go back to the starting line and do it all over again. What else? What our document? We have one more.
Birth
document.
certificates.
Birth certificates. Oh boy, didn't we have fun with this one? So mine was pretty easy. I already had it done. Boom, apostilled, get it out the door. Well, guess what?
I have a birth certificate.
She had one. We thought we were good.
I have 2 of them.
But guess what?
So I sent it in to be apostilled where I thought it was supposed to go after like 5 weeks.
Yeah, we were in no
It
hurry.
was a long time.
All we had to do was apostille.
They sent it back and said, sorry, you sent it to we can't do that for you here because it's a foreign birth certificate. So I had to send it to Virginia, to a military something or other.
There's only one place in the U.S. that does it.
So then what you have to do for that, if you have a birth certificate that's from abroad, you need to take it, send it there, because my dad was stationed over in France when I was born. And so I was a U.S. citizen, born abroad. So I have 2 birth certificates. So what I did was just requested a brand new birth certificate, and then they apostilled it there. So I didn't have to resend it back, which was nice. That's the one place that did that. They gave me the new birth certificate, and it was apostilled.
The one thing she's leaving out is that the reason we had to send it in to get a new birth certificate is because it was older than 5 years. So if it had been less than 5 years, we wouldn't have had to do that.
No.
That's what they said. Okay, we remember different things.
That's not, no, because they told me when I finally got a hold of somebody to call them and ask them, is this the right place to send it? Because I wanted to make sure I was sending it to the right place. She was like, here's what you need to do. You just need to request a brand new one, and then it can all be done at the same place. And I'm like, okay. So
Your mileage may vary.
yeah.
Your requirements for your country may vary.
Mm-hmm.
This is just specific for Paraguay as of February 2025. Okay, so this stuff changes all the time. The rules have already changed twice since we started looking at it. You used to be able to go straight to permanent residency. Now you have a temporary residency and a permanent step. And I've heard talk, but it kind of died away that they were going to probably change it again. But they can do it at any day, any time you go in. Also, something to cover on this process is the types of things you apply for when you go. So there's temporary residency, permanent residency, and citizenship. All 3 are different. All 3 come with different things. A lot of countries have citizenship by investment, where you invest in a company, buy stocks in the thing, buy a house, or sometimes it's even where is it? Malta, I think it is. You just donate $1 million to the country, and they give you a passport. You're an instant citizen, more or less. So there's lots of ways. You can also be a senior on retirement income. Some of the things along those lines are they want you to have income that is you don't have to work for. If you're going to work for it, even if it's online or on home or doodling around, they won't let you count it in some cases. Not all. Everybody's different. So just know that these are the kinds of things you're going to deal with, and this process is not quick. We can go to Paraguay. We could have just gone on and flown down there and here's my passport and had 90 days of fun. So that's easy. But if you're wanting to stay in the country, that's not a thing. Also, I found this in Argentina. It's either 136 or 138 days. At that point, you can become a tax citizen. Oops. And in Argentina, once you are a tax citizen, there is no getting out of tax citizen. So if you go and visit and stay too long and don't realize what you're doing, you can end up being not a citizen, but a tax resident of that country. And you just get a bill in the mail, so to speak. And there's no way to unbill it. So do your homework, do your research wherever you're going. Everybody's different. What else did we have to do in this process? Time off of work.
Oh,
Don't
yeah, timing
forget, you got to time that. Both of us had to time our work off to go with this, and then because of my FBI thing, I had to add a week on. So what would have usually taken 2 weeks, now I have to have 3. There is no way to do it faster. I'm probably going to be in and out of 6 to 7 different governmental buildings, just clearing that up and getting that process done. By the time I get through everything, you go to the consulate, you go to get the Interpol thing done, you got to go to court for the FBI, you got here and there. So think about that one. If you're thinking about doing this yourself, can be done. If you don't speak Spanish, don't even think about it. Just pay the money and do it. We used Plan B in Paraguay, Paul and his team. And I know some of you are going to come in, you're our age, maybe you got a little bigger nest egg and you can just pay anything. Or some of you are going to be like, man, how am I going to pay for this? Just so you know, there are people there that'll do it for $500. They'll call you a helper or something like that, and they will assist you. There's a lot more to having a life in Paraguay than just getting the document and moving in. It's crazy the number of things that you don't realize until you start thinking about it. Paul was the most expensive that by a long shot, but I figured my guess was that there would be more services and more things than just getting me a document that said I could come to Paraguay and live. This is what I didn't know this. I heard lots of places have Facebook groups and this and that and the other thing. You can find lots of expat groups. But a person able to and willing to pay the extra is probably going to have a different clientele of people to resource from after you get there. If you're winging it, you're going to rough it. There's going to be some bloody noses and stuff going on. I was just thinking, like if you wanted to go buy your health care, your health insurance, and they hand you the documents to read the thing and sign it, and it's all in Spanish, how the heck are you going to know what you're signing up for?
Yeah.
How did you communicate with them? We bought a little translator called I forgot what it's called. It's a little tiny thing, looks like a cell phone, and it has lots of different stuff. Maybe we'll do a video on that guy.
Yeah, when we figure out how to use it.
After we figure out how to use it. It's packed at this point. What else did we do? If you're, do you even need coverage? Do you need health care when you're there? Lots of expats just pay. They don't buy health insurance. It's so cheap down there, you can just pay.
Yeah.
I've heard this is the case in a lot of places. I mean, we're from America, which is the most expensive, bar none. If we were to buy health care right now, it's probably going to be somewhere between $3,000 and $4,000 a month, and you're going to have $5,000 to $6,000 deductibles per year each. So, for hundreds, Paraguay said health care is for younger folk between $30 and $50. If you're older with pre-existing condition, you can expect to pay up to $100. Ooh, scary numbers.
Yeah.
$100 for a senior with pre-existing conditions in Paraguay. Why aren't you there yet? That's actually our number one reason, I think, for having to go there, because there's no way to escape the healthcare costs here. What else have we got? Driver's license.
Oh.
That's a process. Everything in Paraguay is a process.
Mm-hmm.
You don't just go. It's only $15 in a form, from what I've been told. But the stuff that you need to bring in, like you did when you went there, you don't know what that is, and they won't tell you all one document at a time. You'll keep going and keep going, unless you have somebody like Plan B to guide you through that and get you through it. Then you have to decide. There's multiple ways in Paraguay to hold the title. So do you hold it as it's a complicated thing. Do some homework on that. My Life in Paraguay is a great channel. He's got great information on that stuff, along with buying houses, which is even way more complicated. Then you have to have stickers. So let's say you want to jump over to Argentina real quick one day. It's just down the road, right? If you're in the Asunción. Border hopping's easy. But you have to have a sticker, a decal. And if you don't know that, you cross the border, whoops. So drive with your headlights on if you're going to Paraguay. Everybody says that. They will ticket you. That's their bread and butter. Turn your headlights on. It's the little things. Like, how would you know that? If you wanted a good Italian restaurant, how would you find it? Can you read the sign in front of the buildings if it's in Spanish? Do you even know it's an Italian restaurant? Google doesn't always work down there, I've been told. Can be several blocks off, or it'll just tell you the street it's on or something, because they don't have street signs down there either. So you just kind of got to know where it is. You can pull up a map and say, well, these are the streets, let's go check this one out and just go exploring. But if you have a group and an expat group that you hang out with, and they already know the area, oh, just go here and here and here. Last time I was on Paul's inner circle, somebody asked about an Italian restaurant, and within a minute he had 10 options.
Yeah.
So and then you've got somebody to hang out with. Every once in a while they go play paddle. Paddle down there is a cross between
Pickleball.
Pickleball and tennis, and it's kind of weird little thing, but it looks like fun. You got people to go play that with. You got people to go hang out at the restaurant with. You can put it in this thing. Hey, who's up for dinner tonight? There's where we're going. Here's when we'll be there. You got people to go hang out with and do stuff with. Go rent a boat. Man, that's going to be cheap. I can't even imagine if you get a little party barge thing going on the lake. That'd be a fun little cruise. Lots of stuff. But how would you discover all that on your own? Not being able to read or speak Spanish. If you got the Spanish skills, awesome. But if you don't, then what do you do? And I don't know, maybe you're going to Germany or Italy or, who knows, Thailand. Could happen.
Could happen.
What else we got?
I think that's it.
Did we cover all the docs?
Yeah,
I think we
did.
You also need a driver's license.
Well, yeah, they want to see your driver's license and your passport, and obviously.
I feel like we forgot one. There's so much to it.
I don't think so.
My head is spinning from this process.
I think we covered all of them.
Money, as I said in the last video, is going to be your giant challenge other than getting there. Figuring out what bank deals with your bank down there, if you're going to do it online, the costs and the fees to go on across. It's not like, at least it's not like it is here in the States. It's crazy.
We'll figure it out when we get there.
Yeah, and then another thing to think about too is when, at least for us, when we do it, we're retiring. We're selling literally everything we own. At least that's the plan today. When you liquidate, you might be thinking, well, I got 50 grand in the bank. I'm going to hang out. Well, by the time you sell everything, is it still 50 grand? Are you comfortable putting all that money in one bank or in one place? Personally, I'm a physical asset guy. I don't like paper money. I don't like digital things. I like physical. I like to own the home, not rent an apartment. I like to own my car. I don't like to make payments. It's just how I am. So, anything else you want to share?
I don't think so.
All right. Well, don't forget.
Like and subscribe.
Ah, she got it. All right. All right, amigos. We'll talk to you all later.
Adios.